Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies as we conclude with Part 8, Russia Today, of Adam Weishaupt, A Human Devil, by Gerald B. Winrod. Russia Today. We have now learned that what history records as the French Revolution was in reality the ripened fruit of an illuminized and perverted Jewish masonry. After years of preparation, there was suddenly released upon a dumbfounded humanity a torrent of misdirected energy which changed the face of all of Europe. Sparks from the conflagration blew in every direction and produced new flames in many parts of the world. Although 150 years have elapsed since this Holocaust took place, the forces thus set in motion have by no means spent themselves. It is one thing to fight for an ideal, and it is another thing to just fight for the sake of fighting. The Illuminati of the 18th century, like the communists of today, developed a professional fierceness which feeds upon violence and human suffering. One overturn followed another as the appetites of the revolutionists became whetted for French blood. The Moscow leaders have likewise continued their bestial crimes against the poor, helpless, exhausted Russian masses for 18 years. In the name of perpetual revolution, they have reduced to a science the idea that there should be no rest and peace for those who are governed. To them, a revolution should be continuous, never allowed to come to an end. The formula is simple. If prosperity and contentment were to settle down upon the people, the revolutionists would be no longer needed. They would probably lose both their jobs and their heads. Equally asinine are the frothing of the street corner Reds in the United States who demand the overthrow of the government under the guise of seeking to protect the liberties of the toilers. Any human being with an atom of common sense can see that the true purpose of the communist organizers is simply to stir up strife and produce violence. Because this is the way they make their living, they are paid by the ring of international despoilers to inflame the passions of those who listen to them. If it was a matter of personal conviction with them, they would not be trying to tear down a system of democratic government under which the citizens have enjoyed more liberty, fraternity, and equality than any other country in the history of the world. Every American citizen can vote, exercise free speech, free press, accumulate property, expand his mind and heart without interference, and worship God according to the dictates of his own conscience. He has never had a king, tyranny, or dictator to rule over him. He enjoys more personal liberty than any other type of citizen has ever enjoyed since governments began to exist on this earth. Yet the country is full of bass-voiced, leather-lunged, soapbox orators who are deliberately trying to create class hatred in the name of personal liberty and the mythological forgotten man. As in the day of the Illuminati, they are being directed from an occult Jewish source far above them. Any man who will live a good life, work hard, develop his mental faculties, and take advantage of his opportunities for self-advancement can climb without restraint to the topmost rung of human achievement under the American system of government. Note, for instance, the thousands of men coming from the humblest and poorest walks of life who have fitted themselves for positions of responsibility in the United States Senate, Congress, and other positions of local and national government. Instead of demanding the destruction of the American social order as it now exists, it would be more intelligent if its agitators were to agitate for the purification of what we already have. Their inconsistency is at once evident. They are inconsistent because they are insincere. Yet this is the principle behind Illuminism, past and present. Illuminism has for its main purpose the intensifying of human restlessness as a means of tearing down everything that exists, so by long-range, advanced preparation, the way may be paved for the powers behind the scenes to set up their final system of international government, which proposes to reduce all Gentiles to the same state of slavery that exists in Soviet Russia at the present time. Therefore, we have discovered that communism is not a new thing. We have followed it back in a straight line to the year 1776. But even now, we have not traced it to its historical source as an antichrist conspiracy, existing for the purpose of blotting out everything that bears the name of Christianity. Its roots reach much deeper into the past than space has permitted us to show in this treatise. No, communism is not something that is designed to bless and enrich the poor and middle class. It is not a movement to relieve human suffering. It did not originate with the downtrodden Russian masses. It did not break forth spontaneously 18 years ago. It resulted from centuries of undercover Jewish planning. Its final objective is to exhaust the human family in suffering and misery until the whole world can be brought under the heel of the merciless aristocracy of Moscow, which has been aptly called the Red Beast. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.